This is the show where we play video games and we talk about role playing games or board games or whatever games you want to talk about. So
Coffee and casual banter.
come on in. I'm Jay Manweir. This is my co host Kelly. We're going to hang out with you for the next hour and then we're going to go do other stuff because we have lives.
Yes. Lives
So-
that are just too abundantly full of all sorts of things. Actually, this morning after I leave here, I got to go get suited up and then head to West Edmonton Mall for the Chinese New Year Kung Fu celebration.
Wonderful.
Well, Chinese New Year celebration, but the Kung Fu performance at that celebration. I'll be the MC for my school, Chulao Kung Fu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Will you be like MC Hammer? Will you be dropping?
Oh, I'll be dropping the hammer. Yeah. Not dropping the mic, though. No, that's a very expensive microphone. But it should be fun. Oh, that's my signal that Twitch is going live.
Get the hell out of town.
Now we can go to,
Well, if we just press that button, et voila.
and voila.
We have
There we are.
absolutely zero viewers.
Oh, that's
So
okay.
guess what I watched the other night? I'm not even going to talk about Dungeons and Dragons.
Tell me it was the Doom Eternal trailer, because holy is that awesome.
No, it wasn't. It was the David Lee Roth Vegas show
Oh, crazy.
that happened over a week ago,
That's awesome.
and it was
Does that smell like liquor?
it was bad,
It was bad.
but it wasn't terrible. It was a 65-year-old man shaking his thing on stage, singing his old tunes.
Yeah.
With unknown artists backing him up,
Right.
and possibly recorded background singing.
Oh, wow.
It wasn't great, but it wasn't horrible.
Did you find it a little embarrassing? Like you were embarrassed for him?
Yes, a little, because he reminded me of maybe like Dr. Huxtable.
Oh, wow.
He kind of doing his little dance thing. You remember how he would
Right.
do his little dance? Kind of reminded me of that.
So, not the highly energetic David Lee Roth.
He still could do a kick pretty high.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Right on. You think? I think you'd have to drop that one at least once during the show just to show that he still had it.
He had it. He dropped it a couple of times.
And I mean, he probably is what?
65.
Is he 65?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, he's 65 and still still trying to do the thing,
Right.
Still trying to. I mean, you gotta credit the guy. I mean, the amount of energy it takes to put on a live show, it's got to be.
That's horrifying sounding.
Yeah.
I don't even know. Do your drafts? What you're talking
Good
about?
morning, dear Drafts.
Good morning. Anyway, we're talking about David Lee Roth's live show in Vegas, and I
Yeah.
guess he's going on. He's
And
going
it was
on tour.
horrifying, apparently. Yeah.
It wasn't the worst, but it wasn't the best.
Yeah.
But it was simply David, and David's never been known as being a great singer.
The old guy shaking his thing. Yeah, that would be horrifying, but it's not that kind of show. But it kills me that some of these guys they get to that age, and some of them really have it, especially like the old crooners and stuff that have been doing those Vegas shows forever.
Well, Mick still has it. Still had it until they finally said no more. Like Mick was still doing his thing
Mhm.
with the Stones, right?
Mhm.
The Stones still had it, but the Stones were together.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the last live show that I saw, the Rolling Stones, it was a little rough to watch because it really was like watching
Old guys.
old guys. Yeah, and that you could see that there's a lot of struggles and stuff. I mean, they're still belting it out. They still got they still got that enthusiasm, and the interviews are
But
awesome.
they need a little more turmeric
Yeah,
in their
yeah,
diet.
yeah. Well,
To
just
loosen up the joints.
something to boost them up for sure, because that show is like you're just like, what am I watching right now?
Yeah.
But
So yeah.
did you how did you like the last game, Side Quest?
I tell you what, there's I like the back and forth with me and Ty
Yeah.
because
Well,
he's
says
old.
you. The elf and the humans feel a little bit different about
Well,
that.
that's
yeah.
only because him and I have been role playing for 40 years.
Right.
Like we've been doing this since we were like
Knee high to a grasshopper. as they
basically
say.
I've been role playing since I was 10 years old. So I know that, and we're just a couple of Manitoba boys, so we're just kind of going off of that.
I know, wasn't that eerie how much you guys had in common, like
No.
right off the bat?
No. It's perfectly normal.
Yeah.
And you know what? We wear our toque the same way too.
I folded up at the back. That's so funny.
I do it all the time. I
That's
literally
hilarious.
do it all the time.
So, hey, one thing I couldn't figure out in SideQuest. Okay, so our characters got on the road. We met that courier. The courier tells us about this shizzle going down
Yeah.
in the next town. And what the heck was the name of that town?
Okay, that's Baldur's Gate.
It was it actually Baldur's Gate? We
Yeah.
arrived at Baldur's Gate.
We arrived at Baldur's Gate. Now,
Wow.
Baldur's Gate, if you know canon and lore, Baldur's Gate is right on the coast.
Yeah.
And basically, it's an enormous trading. It's as big as Waterdeep and just as wealthy.
Okay.
It's protected by the Flaming Fist. The Flaming Fist has a mandate to make sure that Baldur's Gate is protected. What's happened is Elturel, which
Elturel.
is
That's
an
the name.
enormous,
Crater.
goodly city
Was.
filled with paladins and clerics and all of that. They have this beautiful big dome of light that covers the city
Mhm.
that keeps the evil away.
Right.
Simply because of their location, it keeps the evil away.
Right.
Somehow has been blown off the map.
Now, that was one endlessly amusing. Thanks to your dress, we do try to not make mistakes, and the fact that we try and it always ends up going absurdly in the opposite direction is probably what makes it most hilarious, at least for me. Like, I couldn't figure out, because I'd heard El Toril so many times that I'd lost track of what city we even arrived at. I was like, I heard a west gate and I heard an east gate, and I thought that these were
Well-
just pass gates on the way, like on a road to the city. Like, these were like,
They literally are. You like when you get to Baldur's Gate. There's a law in Baldur's Gate that your animals and your carts have to stay outside the gate. What you have to do is you have to hire people to carry your goods through the city for you.
oh wow, that's a good.
So you could hire
Little
like a
commerce.
rickshaw type of thing, or just general people to carry your boxes, and they will lug them to the other side while your cart and horse and stuff goes around to the other side and then gets reloaded.
So we got
It's all in an effort to keep poop off the streets.
nice.
That's it.
Nice. That's actually pretty cool. I like that. I like that the city's actually, implementing some measures that aren't just let your horse wander around and belt one out every 5 feet.
You won't find too many wandering animals in the street, dogs, cats, stuff like that.
Right.
Like they just don't tolerate it, and they don't have a dog shelter or a cat shelter.
Right.
They just take care of that business.
So we got to the gate, and then we found our two new party members, a dwarf, which by all appearances was a fighter, and somebody that looks like they might be part of some kind of woodland cult, maybe a druid of some sort.
Definitely a cult.
Yeah, definitely some kind of cultish shizzle going on there. So, and then how did we get into the gates? Like, I remember we met up with Captain Zorge, or Zodge.
We walked in.
Did we just walk right in
Yeah.
after we picked up our badges off of Captain Zorge?
No, we walked into the city. We walked through the city to the other gate,
Oh, okay.
and that's where he was over there.
That's where the two gates came in.
And he was over there, and that's where we met the dwarf and the
Right.
elf. Is Lynette's character an elf or a
I
human?
think so. I think I was. That's funny because
come?
I was 50-50 on that this morning,
Okay.
last night when I was writing up. The
I
blog
can't
post.
remember. Maybe do your drafts notes.
Hygiene, yeah. Yeah, actually, that is pretty hygienic for a city that's, medieval ages, I don't know, verge of dark ages. I mean, my memory of Baldur's Gate stems from the video game.
Okay, much more advanced now. We're talking 100 years
After
after
events.
after
The game, okay.
Long and the short of it is, we walked through. That's where we met Lynette's characters.
Right.
So we met
Kildrak
Kildrak, Thunder Wave,
and Lily.
and Lily.
Yeah.
I love her name.
Yeah.
Just Lily.
Yeah.
Plain. It's simple. It's easy.
I mean, Kildrak's good too. I actually remembered that, which is rare. I mean, it took me a while before Jake Gyllenhaal's, Val Silenthrall's name really. Got
It
in the way.
but like, it kind of just struck me as an odd name for a dwarf. Kildrak.
Kildrak?
Yeah, it does. It seems more like a, and I'll tell you this, And
like
I tell you why.
orc name or
No.
an ogre name?
A half orc or an orc, but here's the thing. It sounds like a human wizard name.
Kildrak. Huh.
Maybe a human wizard from somewhere further east beyond the Anurok Desert. Maybe a little southeast. Um,
It does actually, now that you say wizard, it does kind of conjure up some images of like red wizards of Thay kind of thing.
or some sort of wizard from the south, but not so far south as being in Karatur or somewhere like where they have the different humanoid peoples. Like they're more. I guess you would consider them more like our Eastern Asians.
Okay.
So like maybe they'd be more like Chinese or Japanese or like that Southeast Asian, all the way from the southeast all the way to the northeast Asian. That's Karatur.
Right.
That's where you get the Oriental adventures
Yep.
from.
Yeah.
Is that?
I think I might actually have Oriental.
I have it back
Adventures,
there.
that hard, yeah.
Yeah. So it's
The one with the
But
ninja
I don't think-
riding the Kirin on the front.
yeah, but not that far south. I would say maybe along maybe along the coast of the inner sea.
Do your dress, as I heard Kildrak like a dwarven family who once slayed a dragon and were very proud of it.
Well, that's just it. That's the whole. That's a problem they've got. You guys are going to have in the other adventure comes up.
No spoilers.
Oh no,
spoilers.
I'm not dropping anything, but you're going to have a problem with some things, and it all stems back to stuff like that.
In our little D&D.
Yeah, but as for side quest, so El Turel was protected by this big beautiful light, and now it's blown up.
Mhm.
It's gone.
Now, is it blown up? Like, was it a smoking crater that was left, or was it just a blank canvas? Like, you know how Terminator, when he comes
the way
in.
I understood it when I first, and I did kind of read that portion of the adventure just to find out what's going on,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, holy crap, El Turel's gone.
Mm-hmm.
And the way I kind of read into it is that it was just,
Teleported out.
and there was like this whiff of smoke.
Yeah, see, now that kind of sounds like, you know, when the Terminator comes in from going through time and he's in that bubble and it cuts out part of the truck and part of the pavement and the sphere.
Yeah, okay, I get it.
That's kind of what I pictured going on there.
I see that going on.
So were they, you know, elevated? Did their deity suddenly say, you know what, stuff's about to go?
I didn't spoil it, so because I didn't read the adventure myself. Like I didn't go ahead and
Draconis, welcome to the show.
yeah, absolutely. No, I didn't go ahead and spoil it for myself and everybody else by reading the actual adventure.
Yeah.
But I wanted to get a little bit of a read on the adventure, to kind of get an idea.
Yeah.
And I've listened to a couple of different playthroughs of parts of the adventure.
No, you're going to spoil this for me.
No, I'm not actually, because they were all exactly the same playthroughs. So I'm like,
But I haven't played through yet.
Neither have I.
Yeah. So if you tell me what went on.
I'm not going to. I'm not.
I've got hot coffee here, man.
But I will let you wear it.
Yeah.
No, the point is, I've heard a couple of different they're the same playthrough, but a couple of different versions.
Yeah.
And it sounds like there's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah. So just to bring Draconis up to speed, on Thursday, what you missed, if you haven't caught the show yet, you know, we ended up on a path. We lost Sadir. Sadir Namron is launching his new Bardic album.
And he's going on tour.
And he's going on tour. So,
He's starting in 10 towns.
Yeah, he's just like, peace, dudes! And he peaced.
Yeah, and he's working his way all the way south through Kalishman down even further south. He'll end up in Karatur.
Everybody ends up in Karatur that wanders down the south.
Yeah, because that's just like, that is the place.
Yeah.
Like, those people go nuts.
Yeah.
For
And the, so
North American artists.
before I segue off into that, I was bringing Draconis up to speed. So we made it to the gates of Baldur's Gate. We got badges that identified us as members of the Flaming Fist, so we could help quell this little monsoon of refugees from Il Toro? Il Toro?
El Toro.
El Toro?
Yeah, they're pretty upset. They think that Baldur's Gate has something to do with the fact that they blew up.
Yeah, blew up is, I mean, it's a bit of speculation. Anyway, the city vanished, and we've made our way into a tavern. Do you remember the name of the lady we met at that tavern?
Terrine?
Terrine?
Something like that?
Yeah, and of course, we're trying to get, further down the pipe of information here, but in order to get through her, we had to solve her little problem, which was, apparently she'd given people the wrong. Well, she just rubbed people the wrong way, and a bunch of pirates were on their way to kill her, and or to at least take her money or something like that.
They were gonna do her in.
Yeah.
So
we prevented that with our faces, and
yeah, and Jurgen called a one shot on the bad guy leader.
Oh wow!
And he threw a poison dagger, right through the guy's eye.
Yeah, and it is cool for him. Unfortunately, like Sadir, yeah, we'll miss him for sure. But we do have a couple new players that joined us, Lynette and Ty, with their characters Lily, the druid, and Kildrak, the dwarf. And actually, a bit back there, Do Your Dress mentioned that the dwarves were very Scottish as well. Yeah, we took in the drake and we slaughtered it. And I noticed that when I went home, that was one thing that I thought was like, dwarves are very Scottish everywhere. And I mean movies, even when I'm reading the book, the dwarf talking in the book is coming out with a Scottish accent.
Oh lad, that's the way it is.
I wonder how that all got started.
Well, it happened back in the 80s.
Elves should be Australian.
Elves should be outlawed, lad. You know why? They stink.
Yeah, this from a dwarf.
They're rotten right through to the core.
Yeah, so, sorry, I digress. Back to the...
Well, that's just nasty.
No, not... Oh, what was on the screen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't show any blood, though.
No. Classic Aztec ritual, though. We used to actually perform that ritual.
Yep.
Back in the day.
So we're just kind of
I don't think it prevented any apocalypse.
No, I think it just appeased demon gods.
Yeah, all should be rounded up and sent to an island for prison.
Well, wait a minute, they were.
And actually, that's interesting because
that's canon.
Well, that is actually canon from Australia as well. It was a prison colony before it was a continent and a nation all its own. But yeah, terrible stuff going on in Australia, by the way. Moment of silence for those. Moment of silence for the koalas and the animals. But yeah, the Cryalis, I actually got Lynette and Tyre going to join me every other Friday for Cryalis, so I just have to get 2 more players to balance out the.
There you go.
Yeah, to balance out the campaign, and good to go on that one as well. And that'll be every other Friday starting February 21st.
There you go. Innocent eyes will blink at dawn. Something falls away. Anyway. So, anyway, the long and the short of it is, we defended the gal in the bar, and
Tennille, Captain and Tennille.
Terrine. We helped her out, and we going to earn some money from that.
Yeah,
we haven't actually gone and collected our.
What time does Camarina start? Running across the state now. Starts at 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. 7 p.m. this evening. Yeah, and I think there'll either be 6 or 7 players on that game. So it's quite it's a crowd for sure. Definitely NSFW. Did you just throw a smoke grenade into that thing?
Yeah, just for spits.
I love how you've got like these bamboo bows and like all kinds of like ancient Aztec garb, and then lobs a smoke grenade.
Right? I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm just running around here mindlessly. I don't have a clue what I'm doing. We are talking about video games and role playing games, and we're trying to play a video game at the same time.
Yeah, so incidentally, at the end of that adventure, by defeating the pirates, we actually took care of the.
Now, what kind of pirates were they?
Well, they weren't pirates of Penzance, just to be clear.
They were butt pirates.
They weren't butt pirates. They were. They weren't even. They weren't even like Pirates of the Caribbean, but they did have a ship. So we defeated them, and we are now potentially. And I say potentially because
Buddy seemed to have run away pretty quick.
Yeah. No, we didn't let him go.
We still have him.
We still have him. We stopped the adventure right there because I was like, I do not want to let this guy go, or that will be the last we see of him or a ship.
We should go and get the ship first.
I mean, that would be a pretty big haul.
On pain of death to anybody who leaves.
So the only problem is that the ship has about 20 occupants.
We should give it to Tareen.
Why would we do that?
Because it creates an alliance.
Well, and she's more the pirate type than we
and
are.
she would be able to, and she would be able to help us out later on. If we need it. Like, if we need to get taken out of a tight situation or something.
Or she'll be just like, oh, these jackasses just gave me a ship. Later, dudes. Yeah.
But, you know what? Do we really need it? Like, I'm asking the question, I beg the question simply because of the fact that when I read the name on the front of the module, I don't see us needing a ship.
So here's the thing.
What's the name on the front of the module?
It's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it.
But still, I'm like, wait a minute. Are we even going to need this? Because are we even going to be here?
And do you know what a ship's worth? Like the ship's value? I mean, the ship sells for a pretty hefty sum of money, especially for first level characters.
We're not first level though.
Well,
we're fifth level.
Oh, on that one, yeah, we're fifth level. But even still, a tidy little sum to be certain.
Probably.
And we don't know what they were carrying. If
Well,
they're pirates, there may be loot.
I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm just running around aimlessly.
Said my epitaph.
That's hilarious.
What is in that door? Can you get in it? Don't tell me just by shooting the door. I suppose you are giving it a handle of some sort by that point.
No. I'm gonna go up here and worship. La, 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 la. I tried to dive off and give my life to some demonic god.
Yeah, I don't think that was. I don't think that attempt was valid then. If you know, if you're really supposed to make the sacrifice, you'd best be getting to it. Look up. Look way up.
Thanks, gentle green giant.
And I'll call Rusty.
Rusty.
Oh, Jerome. It's funny, we were just...
Oh, remember we were... Oh, there it is. That's the spot you gotta get up.
We were yapping about old TV shows and stuff.
And that's another one. Friendly Giant.
Yeah.
Looks like I'm going for a swim.
And I just love the graphics in this game. It's so... I mean, I could just wander around and look at stuff.
I wasn't here last time.
Like, I mean, on the one hand, it is amazing and beautiful, but on the other hand, I could see how it would be completely distracting from the objectives.
Right? Just to look around?
Yeah, because I just want to look at everything. I mean, it's like being on vacation in Peru, or at least as close as I'm going to get in the next couple of years, yeah.
Okay, I've swam the moat.
I was actually supposed to be part of a delegation. I sit on the board for the Canadian Wood Waste Recycling Association, and we're actually going to go as a delegation to Peru and talk to them about
their massive amounts of wood waste.
Yeah, and how to implement.
They're horrible.
How to implement closed loop recycling technologies.
Oh.
Yeah, to power their cities and power their towns using wood waste. And how to turn that wood waste into other things like biochar and
Press
like
board.
press board, stuff like that. Would have been good.
Well, I'm thinking these might go down if somebody else came to stand on one.
Hey, and do you know what our next goal is? Like, we got the pirate ship. That was like we accosted these guys, and then there
collect
was
our
nothing.
money. There is no next goal. We're talking about Dareth. We're talking about Nariel the True running a game. If you think
So it
there's
could be
a
off
next
the rails.
buddy, I don't think we're going to be on the rails at all. I think it's going to be absolutely maniacal.
Yeah, well, Peru would have been nice had I gone, but unfortunately, that never panned out. Like we were actually supposed to go meet with government officials and talk to them about wood recycling technologies, and it seemed really cool. I mean, I'm very much for.
It seemed like a thing.
Yeah, I'm very much for what they were presenting and for the information we were presenting to them, but unfortunately, it just didn't pan out. They had
More priorities.
other priorities. Yeah.
Like, just way more priorities.
Oh, and this week, yeah, it sucks. It does. Plan is to kill pirates. Step 2, step 3, profit. Yeah, we don't really know what step 2 is. So we've just accosted these pirates who killed their leader. They tried to bribe us off with a ship and a crew.
I'm not even gonna lie. We one-shotted their leader.
Yeah.
With a nat 20.
Yeah.
It's the most famous thing Jurgen's ever done or ever will do.
Yeah.
And then.
Yeah. And then.
I can't believe I did that.
Well, technically, you one-shotted him into unconsciousness and then slit his throat.
Which is not a bad thing.
Yeah, no, it's
Actually quite a beautiful thing.
But from there, we have no idea.
Hey, lady, what am I supposed to do? Lady, are you in there?
No, she's really focused on that wall.
Let's stare at the wall. Everybody, we're staring at the wall.
So we have no idea where we're going next on that adventure, but we are trying to uncover what happened to El Turo, and hopefully we'll get a little more segue into the adventure next time. So in just a week and a half. This week, on Tuesday, we have riffs. Characters are developed, and we'll be embarking on our first Merc mission. And then, of course, there's some.
Are you going to be a Merc?
I'm going to be a Merc.
Is that like being a Merkin?
No. The Rift game looks interesting, though. There's a lot of rules, a lot of little things to remember. I mean, you're paying rent and leasing buildings and
what?
Getting, renting or buying equipment. It seems like a lot of real world stuff.
Well, you know what? In our next campaign, for our little D&D game, I want to be more like that as well. Are you stealing offerings from the elder? Because it seems like a bad idea.
Right? It's like, man, he's been here for generations. I'm just going to help myself.
Basically, yes. I am trying to steal. I don't know what I'm doing. Honestly, I want somebody who's out there to come and save me.
I don't think anybody's saving me. Yeah, I've been playing Soma for a while. I really wish I could stream that game because it's very intriguing. It's like...
Oh!
It's like Naked Lunch meets... Like, I don't know if you've ever seen Naked Lunch, David Lynch's Naked Lunch, but it is like a messed up movie. It's like a cult classic.
I try not to watch messed up movies.
But this game is like Naked Lunch meets Doom meets Hellraiser. It's a mix of weird psychological stuff and horror and sci-fi all blended together. Really, really bizarre game. Naked Space. I don't know if I've seen Naked Space. Naked Lunch is the one that I'm referring to, the David Lynch movie.
Look at this.
Where even the typewriter becomes like an alien creature.
I have a lot of other things. Like if we were back in the 80s, I would have said to all of those things you were just talking about, and they would have been very appropriate and
but you don't
funny.
Remember any of it?
No, I remember all of it.
Oh. Do you remember a movie called Morons from Outer Space?
Yes.
No way.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
That is an obscure...
I was one of them.
It was an obscure title. Like...
Do you remember Earth Girls Are Easy?
Oh, yeah. I remember.
I'm a blonde, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, with Jeff Goldblum.
And... what's her name? She's an actress.
Oh, way to narrow it down. Starts with A.
No.
Ends with T. You're like, oh.
I'm a blonde, yeah, yeah, yeah. B-L-I-N-D.
I don't remember any of that.
What's her name? She did the Snickers commercial. You know when you're hungry and your stomach keeps poking at you?
Yeah.
That one. She did Splash with Tom.
Oh, Daryl Hannah.
Yeah.
Well, Daryl Hannah was in Splash with
Was
Tom
it?
Hanks.
Was it Daryl Hannah?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't Daryl Hannah.
Yeah, I remember being a kid and being in love with Daryl Hannah.
Everybody
Splash.
was in love with Daryl Hannah. No, it wasn't Daryl Hannah. It was. I'll remember. Maybe perhaps next week, but I will remember.
But yeah, you asked about Rifts. That game's going on Tuesday, so it'll be Tuesday, 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. Mountain Standard Time in Studio C. And yeah, all the characters are created, and we've kind of got a handle on some of what we can do. And we'll be embarking on our first mission. But it is pretty complex from my standpoint. I'm used to, D&D, D20 system, fairly simplistic rules sets by comparison. But Rifts is definitely intriguing. I don't know how these campaigns play out for Rifts, but I'm interested to know more. So what time? I got to keep track of the time. I am actually at West Edmonton Mall emceeing a kung fu performance this morning.
Yeah, we got 29 minutes left.
Yeah. So if you're in the Edmonton area and you want to stop down to West Edmonton Mall to the Ice Palace and check out my kung fu school doing their thing.
They're doing that thing.
And definitely stop in and cheer us on. I think it's also on Global TV.
If you are in the CDN.
Yeah.
And not in anywhere else. Well, maybe in the northern USA.
Yeah. I'll be posting a YouTube video at some point to let everybody that couldn't see it.
And I'll be going to swimming lessons.
Oh, wow. That's
with
awesome.
all my swimming friends.
Yeah, that's cool. I have not been swimming in, wow.
Well, you guys wanted in on our...
Wow.
You wanted in on our lives.
Yeah, so. I guess technically it's a year. I went to Thailand last year, or the year before last, 2018, and that was a nightmare. That was
I think I remember you telling me.
Yeah,
that's about the time we met.
Trip. Yeah.
On the Twitters.
Yeah, right around then.
Just after you guys got back, or just before you left.
Yeah, and it was it was a weird trip. Sometime I'll talk about that. It's a whole other thing, but yeah, it was a bit of a nightmare for sure, a travel nightmare. But Thailand's nice. The people are nice. The people that aren't trying to scam you when you into the city and stuff like that. There's a lot of people to watch out for, like cab drivers, and everybody will try and take you for a little bit of a ride and stuff. But everybody's just trying to make $1. But
this gal here reminds me of what's his pickle. The archer from LOTR.
Lord of the Rings?
Yeah, what's his name?
Legolas?
Yeah. Like, really. Oh, the big dive.
I know, busts both of her legs. She's like, oh, it looked a lot deeper from up there.
Oh, nice kill. Atta girl. Oh!
Well, that seems unfair.
That seems unfair. Somebody's not playing nice. Oh, of course, it's got to be a Trinus operative with a gun. Trinus is actually a computer place here where we live. I can't remember the name. I'm 50 years old. Like, what do you expect?
Yeah.
I don't remember anything.
You're just like, I've been swimming in years, hard to find non-chlorinated pools. Tricone's like, those are called pond straps. She's like, what a dick. Yeah, honestly, if you've got sensitive skin, pools are rough. Public pools are rough. They're so over-chlorinated, it's not even funny.
And our pool, here like at the leisure center here.
Yeah.
Like
Buckets of chlorine.
buckets of chlorine and little kids. So
Right.
if something happens, if there's a nuclear disaster in the pool,
A nuclear dookie in
the
the pool.
pool, they
Yeah.
clear the place out, man.
Yeah. Literally vacate the pool, drain the pool.
Well, they
Clean
don't
the
drain
pool.
it. They actually don't drain them anymore.
Really?
No, they actually
Hyperchlorinate them and
they hyperchlorinate them, and they clean up the mess.
Ugh.
It's not Caddyshack, folks. Bill Murray picks up the dookie and takes a bite, and it turns out to be a chocolate bar.
Yeah, actually, we had a long-running joke for, years when I was a kid that if you wanted to clear out the public swimming pool at the campground, you just throw an O. Henry in the pool. And then when everybody clears out, you just, calmly slide in, eat your O. Henry.
Oh, don't do that.
Yeah, don't eat the O. Henry.
I'm just having a brain. Oh my, just got dizzy. Oh my word. Don't make me laugh like that. That's just insane.
Have you ever seen a drainage pond?
Yeah, actually.
Yeah.
Lots of them. Have you ever seen a septic field? Have you ever smelled one? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and I've been around tailings ponds and stuff like that. They're pretty.
Actually, tailings ponds nowadays are very clean. And I'll tell you why. Because what they do is they dig a pit and then they throw all of this thick rubber into it
Mm-hmm.
to keep it from draining into the groundwater.
Mm-hmm.
And then to keep the animals out, they fire off guns over top of the thing. So if ducks or animals or geese try to fly in, they fire off and they, it's like bangers,
Mm-hmm.
and they're gone.
Right.
They scare any animals away. They're very good at it here in Alberta, at keeping those tailings ponds cleared of any.
Oh man, you're just like not even messing around with that guy. Big old butcher knife. How are you supposed to deal with this many guys all at once? That is crazy. What else we got going on this week?
This week will be Thursday night. Thursday night will be our little D&D game.
Right. And Friday, nothing. Although it does say Chronicles of Cryalis on the schedule. That is probably the 7th of February or the 21st of February. We haven't settled on a date for that yet. But if you tune in to social media or this channel, we'll definitely tell you about it before it arrives.
You bugger.
That
Come
homebrew,
in from behind and do me from behind, did ya?
yeah, that homebrew I've actually been working on for about 29 years.
Chronicles of...
Cryalis. Yeah, so I've got stories and, half books written, things that I just put aside and never picked up again. But just going through some of the material that I composed when I was a bit younger, I've got databases of character names, city names, rivers, alcoholic beverages. Just literally every detail that you could fathom for a place. I
I
tried to
am
come
not
up with
getting
it.
out of here. Yeah, you've come up with lots of different names.
Well, lots of I really, I put my heart and soul into creating this world. And it's only been the last couple of years that I've started to resurrect some of these materials and see how much I'd originally written, but there is quite a bit there. And to boot, there are elements of Sact that actually end up in Cryalis. There's parts of Cryalis that transcend into the world of Sact. Sact's little adventure takes place in a part of that world. It's a D&D 2E based world, but we're going to be playing with 5E rules. Should be interesting.
I'm going to try to sneak out of here. I'm waiting for this guy to disappear. Because I can't kill anybody without...
Oh. Yeah, and this week actually I had a plan to pick up a couple of more blocks of that polymer clay for Creative Crucible,
Yeah.
and model out a predator bust, like the chest up, neck and head of a predator.
Holy Dinah.
Yeah, I think that'd be a really fun to work on. I'm still carving out the details of the xenomorph. There'll be some of that this week as well. And hopefully I can get that to a point where I can shove it in the oven and move on to the next project.
I really want this guy to get down.
Well, can't you take out these two? Oh man, that's not gonna be good for you. Oh wow, they even slow-moed it. What is going on? They just lob a grenade into the grass beside you?
I don't know, but I gotta try to piss off, buddy. I'm going to die.
One guy high and two poking in the bushes. Yeah. I like the search mechanism they've got going on. It's smart. Yeah, it seems like the AI in this game is really well done. I mean, there's some parts where you think they'd notice her, but I mean, between the camouflage that she can do and hiding in the bushes, the plant life is really lush in this game. So hiding just makes sense.
So, but there's ways around things. Like, you come back here and hide and let them come to you, and you take them one at a time.
And where are we at in our little D&D game? Where did we finish off last time?
Okay, let's recap our little D&D game. Our adventurers are
We got out of
retained.
the phylactery vault.
Our adventurers are retained to buy a powerful wizard in Waterdeep to find and locate and return some orbs of dragonkind.
Yes, an intensely rare and ultimately powerful magical device, several of which can be used to control all kinds of dragons and bring about the return of Tiamat.
No, they can't be used to return the Tiamat.
Or is it they can be used to defend against Tiamat?
They could probably be used to defend against Tiamat.
Okay. Wow, you just suck him with that bow, eh? Okay, buddy, you'll get her. Look at those kneecap shots. It's like, I've heard Skyrim's really bad for that. If you get hit in the knee with an arrow, you're like dead. I've never played Skyrim. I have that game. I literally, well, that's not true. It's not that I never played it. I played it for about 20 minutes, and I knew I would be so ultimately addicted with that game and its open world environments that I just...
Watch this.
I was like, I'm going to lose months or years of my life to this
I'm going to booby trap this guy. Watch this. I'm going to get this guy's attention. There he is. Where are you guys?
He was just around the corner.
Somebody just blew up.
Behind you?
Yep.
You did get a bit of spatter there, eh?
There's a guy right there.
Yeah. Yeah, see, that corpse is still up there. There you go. I didn't see the bomb on the corpse anymore.
Oh!
Can already see some more things popping up.
Holy crap!
I love how I work Monday to Friday, yet everybody in my entire clientele list is all under the assumption that I work Saturdays and Sundays and all hours of all days. Plants a bomb and cruises on.
Yeah, that's the way we do this.
So were we heading back towards Waterdeep then?
No. When you guys finished up the other day, you actually guy's gonna blow up.
Huh?
So you guys actually were sent to a pocket dimension or another dimension somewhere else to find um, the dragon orb. You, in fact, did find a dragon orb.
Right. In this little...
But it was being protected by an androsphinx.
Right. Who presented us with a task.
To find the other dragon orb.
Yeah, so, and at that point, once we find the other dragon orb, we can return here and he will give us this one as well, which I
That's
highly
what he
doubt.
has said.
Yeah, which I highly doubt because, you know, the Andrew Sphinx is not to be trusted. Sphinxes in general, shady characters.
Generally honorable, however.
Don't buy it. Don't buy it. You know the Sphinxes from the Never-Ending Story?
No.
No? Where Atreyu or whatever has to pass between the two Sphinx gates and they open their eyes, and if his heart isn't true, they blow
Well,
up
that's
them.
what sphinxes are for. They're there to protect. Watch this. Boom!
See, and that classic story of the Sphinx that tells the riddle, if the riddle isn't solved, she eats the person.
That is the truth.
Yeah.
Here comes two more guys. I got one more bomb set up over here. He'll go in here. They'll check this out. Watch.
These guys are pretty
He's gonna
dense.
blow up in the corner. Oh,
Oh, wow. Took out both of them?
that's how we roll. That's how we roll,
That's
sweetheart.
that's some impressive...
That's nasty. That's you know what I'm doing here? This is called guerrilla warfare.
Yep.
Okay, this is how we do it back in the hood. Like, well, we live in the hood. This is like where we live. This is the hood.
And I can't believe I have to be at the mall in like an hour and a half emceeing a big kung fu show.
Guess what?
This is the calm before the storm.
I got him. I got them all.
Even the guy that was leading the pack?
Done. Like dinner. They're all dinner for me now. Like I ate their hearts, their minds, their souls, their spirits.
Now who's she radioing?
Her buddy Jonah. She's dead. Our girlfriend is dead. We are sad.
Yeah, no doubt.
Look at the look on her face.
I know. Just
She can't believe it.
Stunned bewilderment.
Yeah. Okay. Story time. The party was hired by Lord Fingling originally to find the dragon orbs. I worked it into Horde of the Dragon Queen. I'm working it into Rise of Tiamat as part of the story plot. Long and the short of it is, they found the first one, walked by the second one. They were supposed to be getting the third one now, and then moving into Rise of Tiamat. But unfortunately, that's not going to happen exactly the way I wanted it. So I had to rewrite some things. The party has gone through a great deal of adventures and things to get to where they're at now. They did a job for a lich to get her phylactery back. All right. In turn, they helped the Red Wizards of Thay. They went against the Red Wizards of Thay, who are trying to be helpful to the rest of the world of Faerun and whatnot, so they can stop the Tiamat. But the rebel Red Wizards in Faerun and around Waterdeep and all of that, they kind of want Tiamat to come, so they kind of are in league with the Cult of the Dragon, only because they want to unseat Zastam from power and take back Thay, because Thay used to be a very great place of learning. But so they want to go back to the former ways and get rid of all the undead and just be wizards again.
But what do they know?
Anyway, the long and the short of it is, the heroes of the adventure have now been used by both sides, and Jin has kept her word, sent them to the Androsphinx in the other dimension. And he has said, well, you can have this one if you go and find the other one. So now they were walking back right at the end. They're walking back towards the gate that they arrived through,
Right.
and I don't know where they're going.
We don't know where we're going.
So, the first scene in the next episode, it will be them gathering at the gate and deciding the next point of
Yeah.
adventure.
Yeah.
Because Quill's gate keys will take her. They will take her to Barnos. They will take her back to Jin. They will take her. She doesn't know, but they're supposed to be able to take her back to her home in Neverwinter.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. Gunship.
Well, she took a hit, and those piranhas love the fresh blood in the water. I would not want to be bleeding in a Peruvian river or an Amazon river.
Any Amazon river, like
Yeah.
the parasites alone
Yeah. Like,
would
well,
kill you.
I'm dead now.
So that's the long and the short of it. Like, they are trying to stop the rise of Tiamat.
Right.
Their boss, Lord Fingling Ilfiker, is trying to get them, or has tasked them with finding hordes of dragonkind. He is also looking for them.
Mhm.
So he's got spies out all over. He came up with one that might have been in the. There might have been one in White Plume Mountain, but there wasn't. But that was a.
And the party already went on that campaign.
Yes.
Like, yeah.
But they had to go back through Oakhurst, and I had to have a story plot to get them to go back through Oakhurst for some reason. So they went back through Oakhurst and didn't finish that story plot. So the party didn't come back through that plot at all. And anyway, so there's so much unresolved things going on. Like, there's an assassin that wants to kill them. He sold them. First time he tried to kill them, they killed him. He was resurrected. He in turn captured them and sold them to the cultists.
Oh
wow. Who bought Boar, and the rest of you were supposed to go to the Well of Dragons to be fodder,
Mm-hmm.
but they managed to escape.
The Well of Dragons, that's where they actually summoned Tiamat from?
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's all coming to that.
Crazy.
So right now you guys are walking down the hall from this extra dimensional plane to try to get back to wherever you want to go.
Dear Draft says, well, my dad was dropped into the water off Beirut once, and he was on prophylactic antibiotics for a solid year.
Holy Dinah.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's insane. But I mean, when you're from like, the western side of the world, how is there a west and an east when it's round? It's so bizarre. Anyway, when you're from like our side of the planet, and then you go to the other side of the planet, everything that you're immune to on this side, it doesn't exist over there. So that's a whole new batch of stuff you got to get immune to.
Now, I have a question for you. They've actually found in the belly button of people who've never traveled germs that are on the other side of the planet.
Mm-hmm.
They've never traveled anywhere.
Right.
But the germs that is way over there in
Yeah,
Southeast Asia
Carry on the wind, flow in the water.
is in some dude's belly button
Yeah.
here in North America.
Yeah. I mean, it could have been like, swimming pool residue from some visiting, person from, Vietnam is in the
Chlorine,
same hot
man.
tube, but maybe the chlorine doesn't affect that particular thing like it.
Fair
does.
deal. That's fair.
I mean,
That
nature
is fair.
finds a way. Nature just
Oh yeah,
finds a way.
yeah, yeah. She's an evil old.
I always conjure into my mind that image of the tree breaking the boulder. I'm sure you've seen that picture. It's a classic, like, you can do it picture. But there's several boulders out there, I'm sure, in the world that have been broken by trees who just persistently pushed on the bottom of that rock until it split. Same thing. Like, I mean, just nature finds a way.
This guy is dead. Come here, baby.
Yeah, the belly button thing is 100% because people are gross. Yeah, and when you get down to, I mean, there's a commercial going around right now on what dust is, like how it's dust mites and flaked skin cells
It is.
and stuff.
It is.
Yeah, it is for sure. But yeah, people are gross.
We're om-nomming that stuff, man.
Nomming.
But you know what? Some of that stuff we actually need to survive. Like, because the bacteria that they carry are bacteria that are actually, if we can be infected with it and our body can overcome it,
Yep.
we're protected from it.
Well, I think we're actually just essentially biological mechanisms being piloted by bacteria. I mean, the bacteria in our gut do more of a job of creating how we think and how we respond to external elements like food, for example. You know, that's all bacteria in your gut telling that you want that particular item, or that, you know, if it's not your brain. And most times there's some relationship going on there between the chemicals exuded by the bacteria in your gut and the chemicals absorbed by your brain. So it's kind of a weird symbiotic relationship between bacteria in the human body and other animals, like the bacteria in their body and their bodies themselves. We're weird. So we got about 5 minutes left. I'd like to send some shouts out to Deer Drafts, Tony's Firebrand, everybody else that stopped in to say hello. Got a few of you in there. If you're just new to the station, thanks for dropping by and checking us out. Every Saturday morning, we're here for coffee and casual banter about role-playing games and fun stuff, life stuff. Tuesday is our Riffs game, 7 p.m. to 9 or 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. And Wednesday is Creator
I'm so
Crucible.
dead.
And Thursday is back with our little D&D game from 6:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. on Thursday. And then Friday we're going to take a break. Look at the camouflage, they're just like brilliant.
Come here, baby. Lara's got something for you. Come here, sweetheart. Lara's got a little something for you, baby. Come on into my world.
I like this like greasy striped shirt this guy's wearing. Like, he looks like I don't know, bad guy from a sailing or from a pirate movie.
So I'm going to set bombs on all these guys just for fun. Because I like watching bodies explode.
They spot her and use artillery because she's going to murder them otherwise.
Yeah, pretty much.
And you have got some serious light on you. I mean, you're in full view of whatever's behind that light.
I'm going up that wall.
I'm going to go see if I can fit into my suit still. And get ready for the Chinese New Year performance at West Edmonton Mall. Oh, and when I come back, actually, I may be streaming Creator Crucible this afternoon if I have time. But
Watch this.
Oh, wow. That's crazy. But yeah, tonight, Camarina Adventures, their first live stream, 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. So it's a 4-hour show. Oh, which reminds me, we should probably blow that all down.
Oh yeah.
Get it off.
No worries.
So definitely tune in for that if you're. It's based on Faerun Homebrew 2E, the 2nd edition Dungeons and Dragons.
This guy's dead.
Lots of laughs, lots of fun, just like like you'd expect from Take20.
I feel kind of like a Black Widow spider right now.
Creeping through the bushes.
I'm taking the men as I should, because I'm a female Black Widow.
I love how.
And then I'm taking their lives.
I love how you'll plant these giant glowing red beacons of death on these things, and people will still be, oh, what's this? I think I should approach closer to the red beacon of death. Who does that?
We need mud. Whoops.
Well, where do you find mud? Can you just?
Doesn't matter. I'm going to kill this guy right now.
I mean, how did these guys... Wow, there we go. See, so many places to explore, to dive into and hide and move around in. And very cool.
That guy's gonna die up there anyway.
That's awesome, Draconis. Yeah, they should have brought a tank just to deal with this one individual. Yeah, that's awesome, Draconis. Hope that you can make
Watch
it
this
in
guy.
for a bit.
He's gonna come up. He just blew up. I blew him up real good.
Yeah, because he's just drawn to the beacon of light.
Right?
Don't go into the light. I cannot help it. It's so beautiful.
Sucks to be you.
Come on.
Hey, folks, that's our show. That's what we do every Saturday. We come and hang out with you guys. We blow shit up.
Thanks for hanging out with us.
And we love hanging out. So please come back every Saturday at 9 a.m. Mountain Standard Time.
I'm off to the mall to go deal with West Edmonton Mall Chinese New Year performance. Were you about to say that this particular session was brought to you by Alchemy Interactive?
Yeah, and their new game, Sacked Games.
Sacked. Check it out, sakd.ca. If you haven't already checked out the story of a pillow accidentally brought to life and sent on a mission to destroy the ultimate evil, you should definitely check it out, sacked.ca. And drop in for Camarina Adventures tonight, right here on Take20 D&D.
For Kelly, I'm Jason. We're out.
Peace.
See you again.